Okay. How about now? Is she frozen?
I still see you.
Oh, good. Good,
We
good,
both in
good.
real time. Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good now. How are you?
Technical difficulties.
Girl.
We were talking about this on actually a call with one of my clients. They do civic technology here in Chicago. And
Hmm.
we were talking about some of the difficulties that companies are having moving to a virtual work environment because of the digital divide that exists with employees. There are some people who have been in positions, especially when you're talking about like government, who've been there forever,
Oh,
who
yeah.
have not had to adjust to any new technical tools. And that's because many governments are, one, slow to adopt, but two, also because of security protocols, switching to like a new software program or protocol requires a heavy lift and investment. So they
Hmm.
would rather just continue to use the old tools if they're still working, which are antiquated and certainly don't flow like current technology flow
Right.
and is not like cloud based. So they use a lot of server space because they are
Hmm.
locally storing a lot of information. So we were just talking about that, and you just don't know all of the technology tools, like how they work and interface, just even like on this computer reboot. Because
Right.
who knew that they was gonna kick out my Zoom settings and I wasn't gonna be able to connect with my sis?
I know, right?
How are you this morning?
I'm hanging in there. I am in the process of conditioning my hair. And you know what I realize? My hair thinks I'm a punk.
Hmm.
My hair thinks I'm scared of it. That's what I realize is happening.
This is the testament of your fortitude, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. They're trying
That's
to,
what I'm saying.
it's trying to make you stronger, faster,
Ooh.
better.
Mm.
Something. There's a lesson,
Let me
a,
tell you,
a
if I
lesson
can
and a
get this
blessing.
hair, right, a lesson in the blessing. If I could get this hair going in one direction and make it a big, poofy boom boom for the week, I'd be very happy.
I'm going to send you something, sis. It's from our dear friends over at Essence Magazine. Hey,
Oh,
Essence,
hey.
we saw that y'all canceled the Essence Fest, and we understand that you had to do it for safety. But when you're back in 2021, we
Mm-hmm.
we hope the Pisces Life will be right there back with you, handling all of
Yes.
your specialized media and entertainment moments.
Yes.
So just remember us. We remember you.
Absolutely.
Just remember us. But there was a video that
Mm-hmm.
someone sent out that talked about like the gray, how you rock the gray, like women rocking the gray and being in a good space with the gray.
Oh.
And there was a hairstyle on one of the divas that was a
Mm-hmm.
part of this conversation that I said my sis Letitia could rock that and
Oh.
rock it well.
Well now. I
So
can't wait to see.
yes, so I'm gonna forward that to you, and
Okay.
you're gonna be like, yeah, you're right, sis. I could do this. I could do this.
You have all the confidence in my skills, but I am so tired of playing beautician, chef, and dishwasher. I'm
Sis,
tired.
can we talk about my newfound respect for lunch ladies?
Oh, yes.
Lunch ladies. So let me share my story. I had some food allergies. I've always had digestional problems. So I wasn't really a partaker in school lunches for a lot of my youth because my mother did not want me to go to school and have my tummy be upset. So
Hmm.
they packed lunch for me, and on occasion, based on what was being served, I was allowed to eat with the rest of the kids, like in the hot line. But for the
Okay.
most part, I always brought my lunch. So I didn't really have a lunch lady experience. I didn't really
Hmm.
like have a great amount of affinity for the role of the lunch lady because I really didn't have to interact with them that often. But
Hmm.
in this time, I realized that it is the lunch lady that is saving lives at school. Not just not just the nutritional fortitude of the babies, but giving teachers that well needed 30-minute break from the students. We understand that when children are eating, most of the time their mouth is closed, so there's an opportunity to not hear, I need, what's that, why we doing that, huh. And typically, just as with adults, when you're consuming food products, especially those that are good, and even if it's not so good, if you're hungry, you feel a little better about yourself. So you get more of those like high-pitched, chippery conversations, and it's just normally a different energy, a vibrancy, if you will, that occurs in like a cafeteria. And so I have turned into the cafeteria lady because that 11-year-old, because he turned 11
Oh, happy birthday.
on Thursday. That 11-year-old likes to eat.
Oh, Lord.
And that 40-something-year-old person that helped to half make him, he likes to eat too. So I'm vacillating between cafeteria lady and short order chef. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently things get cooked on demand in my household. Apparently they're like, today I think I would like a grilled chicken sandwich with fresh greens and a toasted brioche bun, smoked cheddar house cheese, please, hot
Wow.
house tomatoes, thank you. Huh? I'm like, when did y'all become so sophisticated? Like, nobody's doing ramen no more.
Where's your school stomachs at?
Right.
Where your work stomach at?
Nobody doing that can of regular Campbell. We're not even talking about Chunky, because Chunky is expensive. We're talking about the small regular can of Campbell's. Can we get that?
Nope. And we're off into this quarantine life, and folks are still wanting full meals 3 times a day, plus snacks and nightcaps and, all of it. Appetizers. What?
It is a tough life. It's a tough. And I love to cook. I love to cook. I do. But cooking on demand versus cooking out of pleasure is a different phase. I probably understand why when people who are like TV chefs, how they get interviewed and they're like, so what are you making at home? And they're like, nothing. I ordered Uber Eats, boo. I understand that, because cooking out of function, like having to like cook every meal, especially because we're trying to limit what comes inside of the house from places we don't know. It has been something else.
It has taken a toll. The time that it takes to cook and prepare, think about all of that stuff. I love a good restaurant meal. I love the service, the ambiance, and all of that. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yes. I just would like for somebody to say, my name is Rebecca. Welcome to wherever. May I take your order? Can I talk to you about the specials of the day? Oh, the days. Oh, the things we took for granted that we never thought would be restricted from us in this time.
Oh, yes. It's a bit much at this time. Well, we should probably welcome the people to the show.
We should, because, they've been listening anyway. So they know how we do.
The Pisces Life, the Pisces Life, the Pisces Life, the Pisces Life.
Okay. Welcome to the 119th episode of the Pisces Life podcast. We're just two fish living our dreams in and out of the entertainment and news scene.
Yes.
How did that go? How did that go, girl?
That was new audience. Did y'all like that? I like that.
I am just Letitia, you know.
Just getting the taglines together. Come on, sis. Yes. Just
I felt fancy this morning.
Yes, I like that. I like that fanciness. And I'm just impressed that my sis came up with that. It was so brilliant. I love that. How y'all doing? Everybody doing okay? We've been thinking about you and sending out good energy for everybody in this time and hope that there's been some moments of happiness and some periods of peace amidst all of the turmoil.
I'm telling you, in the midst of it all,
Mm-hmm.
please find your peace and hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
Sis, so what have you been up to since we
Girl,
last chatted?
since we've last chatted, I've been up to several things. We covered the Hair Chronicles. That's still an everlasting relationship, a love-hate relationship. More love than anything. The longer that I can't get to a box of or a bottle of color, the more I am trying to embrace. And I haven't honestly colored my hair in a long time because the last time I tried, this stubborn gray it turned green. It just decided, well, I'm not interested in that shade, so this is what I'm going to do. So I've dealt with the hair. I'm trying to figure out a fitness solution that is really something that I'm interested in, something that I want to do and can be consistent with. So I started, exploring that a little bit more. I'm tired of the things that I've been doing. And then let's see, the third thing. Oh, it was something so good I was going to tell you about. I am going to the Dion Cole brunch on Instagram Live.
Wait a minute.
Girl, that man, I mean, he's just a kid from the Shy, his tagline.
Yes, he is.
And he has been serving up house music de jour anytime that he DJs. So if you go to his Instagram spot, I'm gonna just tell you now, don't expect a joke. Don't even really expect. I think sometimes he forget he DJ and he just be in another world. His face be all stanked up and everything. I mean, he just be bopping. I mean, it's really good. But he has a wonderful selection of gospel house music.
Yes.
And I mean, it just really gets you going. It really does. So I have been enjoying that. Let me see. Oh my goodness, sis, we got to talk about this. The uncles, I'm gonna call them. The uncles have had their production and had their moment this week. Okay, Teddy Riley and Babyface. Lord have mercy.
Teddy Riley and Babyface. So I didn't. So first of all, you know that I have secondhand embarrassment. You know, I can't take it. It just be too much on me. And I didn't see the first battle. I didn't see the second battle either because I was scared. Let me be honest. I was scared that it was gonna be a repeat. They was gonna be roasting the brothers on the internet, and I want that for their life. I think our comeback episode was talking about how the internet can bully you and
oh yes,
and put you into a space that is just not good for your mental health or one's mental health.
Yeah, I think Uncle Teddy had to take a moment and reevaluate some things. One, oh baby, that first battle when they tried to get it started, sis. When I tell you the studio was full, a full production crew, a hype man, microphones, equipment, all of this, and not one lick of sound for a few moments. Then when he did come in with sound, Uncle Teddy brought the echo. He brought the reverb in, but it didn't stop his homeboy from dancing. He never did stop dancing. Bless his heart. He said, I'm going to be ready.
Why did he have Teddy Riley is in his 50s easily.
Oh, girl. Easily. Late 50s at that.
When you are an artist or producer in your 50s and your audience matches you, in age. Teddy, we are sitting here in our pajamas.
Mm,
Most of us been on quarantine for at least 4 weeks and ain't did damn liquor exercise.
okay.
We were not interested in seeing someone break out a 90s routine to your music.
Baby, no, we were not. We were not. And when I tell you that his backup man, Teddy Riley did a video on his Instagram to explain who the man was. And since I'm still just as confused, I have no idea who this man is. Not one. Even when Teddy let him get back in the camera and do a little dun dun, a dun dun, I said, wow, not even the dance, nothing is recollecting with who this is. Teddy Riley he wanted us to know who this was, but I couldn't. I still didn't know. Not a clue.
Oh, Teddy.
It was sad. But who tickled me though and surprised me, who knew that Babyface was the king of shade? Girl, he shaded the mess out of Teddy Riley. First of all, when Teddy couldn't get the sound right and he saw that he had a whole crew, he gonna say, well, I was just sitting in the studio at the house, by myself, social distancing and whatnot. That's what he said while we was waiting to get the sound ready the first battle. Then at some point, when it looked like Uncle Teddy wasn't going to get his sound right, like nobody in the crew could get it right. At some point, Babyface just got on up and walked off camera. I said, well, maybe he said just a minute or something and we missed it. Baby, he was gone. He had went to another room in the house and was making another Instagram video. Yeah, it goes without saying tonight. Did not go the way we wanted to. So I just said, fellas, look, fellas, we just going to come back again. Now that was a Sunday. Baby, Monday night came and I have firsthand embarrassment. I fell asleep waiting on the rematch. So I missed the rebattle. I fell asleep. All the anticipation of it. And then come to find out that they broke Instagram allegedly. And I say allegedly because Timbaland and Swiss Beats, who's behind the Versus, Instagram battles, they have really, okay, it could have been that they broke Instagram because it was a whole bunch of people, or it could have just been the sound again. I don't know. I really don't know. But Babyface is the king of shade. Baby, there was a clip where Teddy Riley played a remix of one of the songs that he did. And Babyface said, I thought we was doing songs that we produced and wrote. And Teddy said, well, I did write it. It's the remix. He said, oh, that's a remix? Oh, I wouldn't know because I don't do remixes. Oh, the shade. Oh, the shade. He had no time.
Babyface is messy, huh?
Babyface, I didn't expect it. I didn't know it, but I loved it. I was like, he served all the shade in them few little jabs.
But
that's the remix? Well, no, I don't do that.
I saw Babyface in concert here in Chicago. And it was on a concert tour that Jill Scott was the headliner.
Ooh.
So, Jilly from Philly, I'm from Philly, it was just like, yeah, I'm going to see my girl. She's one of my muses, my performance muses. I tap into her performance space and music a lot when I'm doing covers. And so I was excited. So you know how it is. You have people that was on the bill, and I don't remember who else was there, but it might have been Tank. I can't remember, child. I think it was Tank, Babyface, and Jill Scott. I think is what it was. So I was talking through Tank and getting me some more refreshments. No slight to the brother Tank, but it's taken me a while to warm up to him. I've listened to some of his music subsequently, and it's pretty good. So it just took, at that moment, I just wasn't in the headspace for Tank. Then Babyface came, and I love Babyface, but I just felt like he was going to be intro John Legend. So when John Legend first got into the game, I saw him in a lot of small venues where he just would sit behind the piano and just kind of play his songs.
Okay.
Songs that he wrote, songs that he was in, or songs that he wrote for other people, or his own songs. So I thought Babyface was going to kind of give us that same vibe, that we was going to get some, acoustic Babyface. Which was going to be nice because I had never seen him. Babyface got up there and wore that crowd out. I ain't never sweated on the Babyface song before, I don't think. But Babyface has so much energy. His sound was so crispy. Oh, it was so good.
Wow.
He did piano stuff. He did stuff with the deal. He did stuff that he wrote. He did some Tony Braxton songs in the Babyface way. We was like, what? It was so good. So when the battle was announced, to begin with, I was like, Teddy Riley, have you been behind the scenes getting your weight up? Not because I don't think that he's a talented musical genius. I mean, that New Jack era.
Oh, yeah, that was his era. That was it. Couldn't nobody touch him.
Couldn't nobody touch him. That is part of our musical origin story of the 90s. So I wasn't dismissing his talent and genius. I was just determining if he had been in training for something of this magnitude. Like, had he ran back them songs, what type of conditioning was.
Well, I'm going to tell you, clearly they got in a few dance rehearsals. I'm going to tell you. Baby, they sunk up at one point and was Reeboking. I said, is that the old Reebok? Is that the German Smurf, right? Oh, wow, that's the Running Man. Oh, he hit the Running Man. Oh, wow. Full-on Running Man.
Teddy Riley just wanted y'all to see him play his guitar one more time.
Girl. But here's the thing, sis. He didn't. But when Babyface pulled out his guitar and went acoustic during the battle rematch, you should have seen Teddy. He was like, hand me something. Get me something to play. Oh, why don't I have a hype crew now? You should have seen Teddy. He couldn't get up fast enough to look for something to tink on. Girl, because Babyface said, he had it off camera, just kind of resting on his lap. And he was like, well, I'd like to go with this one here. Brought the camera up. When will I see you? Teddy was like this. And he don't know how to mute out the sound or the video. All we saw was just distress. Teddy just head back and forth, hands up, and then he caught himself and then started kind of, acting like, oh, that's nice. That was, I didn't know we was gonna do the acoustic. I thought we would. Didn't nobody tell me we could do acoustic. See, the uncles didn't have the ground rule. Teddy Riley is not gonna play with y'all in these streets no more. He's not. Babyface, I believe, still went with his same agenda. He came back, right back to the home studio with his stuff like, I'm still going to I don't do remixes. I ain't changed my playlist. I'm just gonna do and I'm going to play this here guitar.
Oh, Teddy Riley had a little teacup. He was like, well, can I make a beat? Let's chill.
Bumps in the bump, bumps in the bump, bumps in the bump. He said, I got to do something to get the crowd going. Baby, it was hilarious. It was a bad week for uncles on Instagram. And then who else was that had a debacle that I was like, Jermaine Dupri and Dallas, the producer. Yeah, Austin. Now, there was something about him that I forgot about. One of his relationship situations was so messy and toe up that I was like, really?
Dallas Austin is Chili baby daddy.
That's it. There we go. I'm getting the messiness now. There we go. It was more her than it was him. Thank you. There we go. But anyway, they had a problem. Dallas Austin must have talked for a good 10 minutes. And I mean, since it looked interesting, he was into what he was saying. We never heard a word. Jermaine Dupri, he's sitting up with his cup, he like, oh, wait, hold on here to the brother was up in the mouth. All we saw was Jermaine Dupri's eyes like this up on the Instagram screen. Wait, they're scrolling up that says, oh, we can't, they say they can't hear you, Dallas. They can't hear. Wait, they can't hear me. Nope, they hear me. It's you they can't hear. It's you they can't hear, dog. All right, let's go back out and come back in. Let's go back out and come back in. Let's go back out. Baby, it was about 10 minutes. Let's go back out. Come back in. Let's go back out. Let's come back in. Oh, and then the crowd turns. Because, see, the patience on Instagram is low.
It is very short.
The sound ain't right. They out. And they on their own Instagram live talking about how come they ain't at your Instagram live. Because your sound is messed up.
Because your sound is messed up.
So they finally got it together, but the people were expecting a battle between the two of them. And what they got was a master class in songwriting and producing. Oh. And it was really good. I wish you could have attended that, sis.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's on the really IGTV. Good. Yeah, I'll go back and check really that out.
So anyway, yeah. What you been up to?
I've been doing many things. Mm-hmm. But since we're on the topic of like things that we've been watching on IGTV or watching in other social media platforms, let's talk about somebody that's doing it right.
Who?
Sister Erykah Badu, our Pisces sister, who has developed her own online live concert streaming platform where the money is coming directly to her pocketbook and to the people who are helping her put the productions on. Let's just talk about that. She's done 3 quarantine series concerts. The last one was called Bubbles. She put each of her band members in a bubble.
Is that what was going on?
And had the bass player walking around like he was the moon man, because he needed his cord, and you got to keep those bass amps fully airflowed appropriate, otherwise you could overheat. We didn't want to see no accident with the bass player. He just was exploring the world unknown. So they were all, the piano player, the drum player, she had like a synth DJ kind of dude player, and her were in bubbles. And that's how they were doing the concert. And I wrote on Twitter that this was trippy and that I didn't even need to be high. It was trippy. It was weird. It was crazy. It was inspirational. It was experimental. I totally dug it. The sound was amazing. The only thing our sis did, and this is not a criticism, but just something to consider. So sis was in a bubble, but sis showed up in the largest of costumes, a head wrap thing that almost looked like moose-like tentacles of sorts.
Wow.
That
she
was
all out.
Yeah, it was like light and ethereal stuffed something. Then with this like sweater thing that I swear I had that same sweater when I was in 7th grade. It was my favorite sweater. But then there was a bottom thing to it that was also kind of fluffy and ethereal. And sis got hot. Because sis is our age and older. And sis need her a good flow of fresh air to keep the body in control. And so sis had to take off the hat first. She took that off. and just had a stocking cap on under her wig, on top of her wig. Then she had to take the pants part, the skirt part, skirt off. So Sister Badu, with all of her thick bottom, just continued to do the concert. Because wasn't no coming out the bubble. Once you commit, you gotta commit. I was just hoping that there was somebody, one of her cheering, or somebody was in, in the planetary area to the side that could have slid the sister a pair of shorts or something. You know what I mean? Because her body is beautiful. Come, let's we can
She's a beautiful
acknowledge
woman. Yep.
the beauty of that woman. She's gorgeous. I just
Yes.
didn't want the sister to be out there performing in her panties unless she just desired to do so. You know what I'm saying? If it was
And
like
with her, it could
planned,
be.
if it was planned, then maybe I would have been like, "Go on, sister, be free in your panties." I understand. You know, she has a song, Annie ain't got no panties. You know what I'm saying? We understand where she coming from, but I just didn't want the sister to be exploited. You know, she got
Yeah.
girls that are older now, and
Oh, that's
you know
true.
what I'm
I
saying.
understand.
And I was
Mm-hmm.
and I could tell she felt a little uncomfortable at the front camera focus areas because she kept pulling her sweater down in the front so we wouldn't see that V. You know what I mean?
See that dewy flower.
See that dewy flower doing dewy things. But it was
Because the music
amazing.
make it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yes, the
Sorry.
music. The
Let me
music.
hush.
The music make it do what it do, and I mean do
Dewy.
DEW do. Okay. So if you haven't had a chance to go see those quarantine series from our sis Erica Badu,
Mm-hmm.
there's clips of it on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it. Somebody who then did a whole screen recording or whatever
Of
the case may
course.
be. You can capture that. I'm sure she said she's going to do one every couple of weeks until we get out of quarantine. So
Nice.
I'm
Now
just
she charges for hers, right?
yes. The first one was
Okay.
$1. The second one was $2. The third one was $3. So I'm in keeping with that same theme.
I
I'm
bet it's gonna get
sure.
up a more dollar every
Oh
week.
yeah,
Yeah.
if we go another month in kind of this more restricted, the most restricted stay-at-home orders,
Mm-hmm.
I think she'll probably get 2 more concerts in. So, and I'll be right there with my little coins because it's amazing. I love the music. I love the artistry.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing everything right around it, and I support that sister.
I like that. I
Yes,
like that. You know who else is doing it right too? Our soror comic, Lonnie Love.
Lonnie Love.
She is having fun on her page. In addition, excuse me, to everything that is happening around the reel, because
Mm-hmm.
they're still, shooting from their respective home studios.
Mm-hmm.
She's playing games with people. She's cooking up a storm. Now, she was on Worst Cooks in America, the celebrity edition, playing for charity, and she didn't win the whole competition. She did win some money back for her charity, but she has come a long way from being a worst cook. I mean, some of the stuff that she put down and take pictures of on her Instagram, I'm like, let me find out. Speaking of let me find out, is there a Rolodex of these celebrities' addresses? Because y'all getting more stuff delivered and getting pictures on Instagram with stuff that y'all, how people know where to get stuff to y'all at? And really try and go without something just one day. Sorry, I had to say that. I was just getting.
Well, first, I appreciate the fact that we can order things and they come,
Yes.
but for most of us, they are coming delayed.
Right.
I saw a post that said that Amazon needs to refund all of the primes because nothing's coming prime,
Nothing.
and certainly they are not in control of that.
Right.
However, if the insurance companies can offer rebates back because there's less accidents, because there's less people driving, then
Yes.
Amazon certainly can, with they rich selves who don't
Right.
pay taxes,
Right.
can refund my little primage
Yup.
because we're not getting on the prime. It's coming. Everything is coming late.
Excuse me.
I ordered some socks
Mm-hmm.
because it's still chilly here in these here Chicago of the
Mm-hmm.
United of the States, and my den area gets chilly, and
Mm-hmm.
so but running the space heater gets too hot, and I said, well, let me get these cute little socks that has the toes out so I can still get some air, but
Ah,
the rest of the foot is covered. I was like, that might be comfortable for me because I normally can't stand a sock on my foot.
uh-huh.
So I was like, let me get, try this out. My sock is delayed. It is
Oh,
delayed.
Lord.
So it won't be arriving until 8 o'clock today. I ordered it over a week ago. And the sock, I think, was in like Indiana. Stop it.
Oh, my gosh.
I could have drove
Drove.
across the state line if we wasn't sheltering in place and picked up my sock.
Right?
So
Girl.
yes. So what else have I been watching on the IGs and the interwebs? Okay, sis.
What?
I have to admit something to you.
What?
I think I'm developing a crush.
Uh-oh. On?
I'm developing a crush on Ron Finley, the gangster gardener.
I love him. I love him. His TED Talk is diggity. I always use it in my class. I love him.
I
I love
just
him.
I want to meet him. I want to sit down and
Yes.
talk to him. I just feel like he's going to be so inspirational. I'm going to take his master class. I am so, as someone who loves to garden, someone who just
Mm-hmm.
really believes that in every backyard, we should have a garden, one for the little animals and one for us. You know what I'm saying? So that everybody
Get
gets
something to
there's
eat.
something to eat. Like I just really, it spoke to my heart, what he's been doing and the Ron Finley project, which is
Mm-hmm.
urban revitalization and urban gardening, and just
Guerrilla gardening.
I just have
Yep.
loved everything that he shared and really have enjoyed tuning into him because I think in other spaces in my life, if we weren't in this kind of slowed down space,
Mm-hmm.
I would have missed him. I would have probably came across him eventually,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
but this intentional time has been really nice. And I just love his mind. I love someone who loves to give to the earth because I'm a tree hugger. And
Mm-hmm.
funny story, so we have voles in our yard
Mm-hmm.
which burrow down and make tunnels in the grass, but we also have lots of bunnies. And I didn't want to put down the poison or any type of deterrent for the voles because I didn't want the bunnies to get it. And my guy was like, girl, you're going to have to make a decision.
One of them gotta go. Now, who do you want?
You just cannot have everybody living in the front yard. Either you're going to have everybody or you're going to have nobody. I was like, dang. So I just respect what that brother is doing
Yeah.
and the messaging behind it. I have a poem that is entitled "Grocery Store," GROWCERY, which
Mm.
talks about returning to the soil, and that if we return to the soil, just even in this time, what if we
Yes.
all were gardeners and had a garden in our backyard? We wouldn't even need to be running to the store as often as we do because we
Right.
would have at least the fresh produce and the spices and the things that we need. And it would probably be super helpful.
That is so cool. One of the things that I liked about him, he did his TED Talk with the one that I show in class, and he talked about taking abandoned properties and planting community gardens. But he also talked about knowing the rules of the city easements.
Mm-hmm.
So the public sidewalks that were out in front of his house and all of that stuff, he was like, it's mine and I'm responsible for it. So he planted a garden.
Mm-hmm.
And so the community would come by and you literally can get whatever it is that you need. He's showing people how to make gardeners or making gardeners out of people who are returning back to society.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing to me that he ended up leaving that garden, like making those city gardens. He was like, you guys are spending money on flowers, you're spending money on all this beauty. What's more beautiful than feeding the community or watching the community feed themselves?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I hear you on his work. I respect his work. He is truly the garden gangster for real.
The
He really is.
garden again. I wonder, can we get him on Pisces Life? What you think,
Hey, it's worth
sis?
a ask. You know we ask.
We will
Girl, I've been
ask.
sliding all up in DMs and carrying on. Hey, how you doing? You want to come on the show? Hey, how you doing? And we've gotten some good responses, as our Pisces Life listeners know, because I know you've been tuning in. And
Mm-hmm.
so we've got some more coming up. But I have to give it to these entertainers. They are finding ways to launch and to do their own thing. Somebody else was doing their own thing.
Who?
Our other soror, April Ryan. You
Yes.
know, she got suspended or whatever. That whole debacle was unnecessary. That's all I know.
Mm.
From her CNN situation covering, you know who, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
mention his name up on here.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have to, y'all know who we talking about.
Right.
But anyway, you know, she's really been doing some things. I love seeing her step out into the foray of doing more entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
celebrity type of interviews. I like that. And
Mm-hmm.
holding it down on her own. Kiana Dancy, comedian, remember her from Sister
Yes.
Circle?
Yes.
She's
Yes.
on every night, and I've caught some really good programming at her spot. I mean, she knows everybody. And I'm kind of jealous, which is why I brought the two up right behind each other.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Kiana Dancy done got our soror April Ryan to go up on there.
Mm-hmm.
So you know I'm tight.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say something tonight when I'm in the chat, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
we love those sisters. We're glad that they're hooked
Absolutely.
up. We're just being funny. But
Absolutely.
she's been doing some really good programming. She's had Spirit on there, the relationship coach.
Mm-hmm.
Remember her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's
Mm-hmm.
got her show now on OWN.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She's been doing really good. So
That's amazing. It's good to see
mhm,
people stepping out and doing their thing.
mhm.
One of the things that I wanted to briefly touch on is that there are a lot of people who are discovering new talents and
Yes.
catching up on things that they had kind of let go because they didn't have the time to do, and
Mhm.
people are working on some healing because they have a little bit of quiet time now, and
Amen.
folks who are reinvesting in their health because
Mhm.
they were high risk in this time, but just high risk generally for
Yes.
other diseases that just proportionately affect the Black and Brown communities,
Mhm.
and that's a wonderful thing. But there are some
Yes.
people who just have not been able to pull it together,
No.
and it's okay.
Mhm.
I want to share that it's okay if you are only just doing the best you can to hold
Mhm.
on to what you got and to the people who mean the most to you, because this is a difficult time. We've
It
never
is.
lived through a pandemic, most of us,
Mhm.
and we've not had to work from home, care for our children, care for our loved ones, figure out where we can even go, deal with the fear of catching it or not catching it, and then the gift known as the internet, full of good opportunities to engage
Mhm.
and other opportunities to spread hysteria, fake news, and the like. And so if the only thing that you can do is to get up, get yourself together, show up on the Zoom. Maybe you have one little clip in your head to keep the hair from falling in your eyes. If that's the
Right.
only thing that you are able to kind of muster yourself up to do, that is fine. Don't let anybody guilt you into feeling like you have to be doing anything other than
Yes.
surviving in this moment.
Mhm.
And please seek out any type of mental health resources that you feel you may need. Seek
Yes.
out a conversation with a friend. If you just want some opportunity to be part of a community, there's so many
Mhm.
other communities that are out there that have opened up their doors virtually for people
Yes.
to join and participate in lively discussions and all types of things. Don't self-isolate if you don't have to. Certainly self-isolating can be good because sometimes you just need a moment away from the people in your house um, for a little bit of sanity. But I want you to know from the Pisces life that it is okay if you
It
ain't
is.
feeling inspirational, if
Mhm.
you ain't feeling motivational, if you ain't feeling like you got to accomplish something. I want you to know that that's okay. There was a really good article that came out of the HuffPost this week
Mm-hmm.
that said you don't have to be super productive or overly productive if you don't want to be, you know.
Right. Give
Eh,
yourself permission.
give yourself permission
Mm-hmm.
to be just okay with making it in the way, which is why I tell you all the time, Leticia, my goal every day is to be moderately productive.
Yes.
So that's what my focus has been during this time, is just to be moderately productive, and comfortable enough that ain't none of my clients gonna kick me to the curb,
Right.
but certainly not trying to be like a super overachiever at this moment, and really trying to
Mm-hmm.
preserve my energy. The name of that HuffPost article is "It's Okay If You're Not Being Productive" during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Amen.
It says some people are baking bread and learning new languages. Some of us are just trying to get through the day. The author is Maya Kapler. I believe Maya spelled Maija. Kapler on HuffPost.com.
Nice. I like that. I'm glad that you said that. Something that you say to me off air when we talk is, and I'll say this to the Pisces Life, be gentle with yourself.
Absolutely.
You have reminded me of that, and especially in this last week. We hadn't really talked about our own things that we have been going through with COVID-19 and the people that are around us, but we know that this is a time that people are facing themselves for the first time. Some of them, there are people who are dealing with unresolved. One friend was telling me about dealing with unresolved grief. She was like, I've dealt with my grief by staying busy, staying busy, staying busy. She
Mm-hmm.
got the furlough. She's at home, still being paid, thank God. But now it's that space of, oh, nothing else is making demand on my time. So
Mm-hmm.
here comes grief. And so, she started virtual counseling and all of that stuff. So it's been an interesting journey for most people, and it really is okay. I struggled to get out of bed a few days this week. I'm not going to lie about that. It just ran in on me for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
We are really living in an actual pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are dying. There are people who are beating this thing as well.
Absolutely.
There are people who are figuring out what their new normal is going to be. And there are people who are trying to get through these life events that keep happening. We've had a baby be born in our family within the last few weeks. And I mean, oh my goodness, she's so doggone cute.
Oh,
Oh, she's so cute. She ain't juicy yet, but she's cute.
cute. Oh, I like it.
Oh, she got this little crooked little smile. It's just, the little smile just say, hey, I'm here,
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm here.
I'm here, y'all. I'm safe. I'm good. But, life is still happening to us and around us, regardless of what's going on with this pandemic. I figure it's a good day if I get to the grocery store. They open at 7. I'm in there by 7:05. As long as I can get the items that I need. I really have to thank God, sis. During this pandemic, I can honestly say that I have had everything that I've needed and most of what I've wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also some clarity in the difference between the two. Oh, let's be real, grown.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's been some personal recognizance here. Now, Letitia, is that something that you need? Or is that something that you want? Yeah, the bills are stacking up, just like everybody else. Yeah, folks want their money. I do
Mm-hmm.
too, and I want to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, here's where we are.
This
We're
is
waiting.
this is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing. I've just decided this week that I'm going to maintain my peace. I'm going to hold my ground, and whatever that means. Now, sometimes I maintain my peace with my eyes closed, sleep. Other days I maintain my peace by going in that basement and turning up every praise song that gets me fired up and hyped that I love.
Absolutely.
Other days I maintain my peace by, hey girl, what you doing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Other days I maintain my peace by, Lord, now, I'm going to say some words here. I know you hear thee. Thou hearest
Thou
me.
hearest
Thou
all.
hearest. I'm trying to get King James's on you because I want to
Right.
make sure here.
Right.
But, you know, doing what you can to find your peace. I had a relative of mine that lives not far from me at all, her and her children and her husband. And I just needed to go lay eyes on them. I hadn't heard from nobody. You know, we used to running back and forth to each other's houses or whatever. And I just pulled in the driveway and honked the horn.
Mm-hmm.
I went real old school and real old school.
Waves.
No, I hollered out, y'all come out here. Send that girl out here. Her daughter's a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out and sat on the steps, and I stayed in the car and with my mask on and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, talked to them. And that did myself good. That did myself good. It did me some good. So
To see
find, exactly. Find those moments that you can, you
absolutely.
know,
I agree. I agree with
find
you.
those moments.
I agree with you. So
You guys know we launched a new
yes,
special
come through,
programming.
come through special
It's called Current Flow.
current flow.
Current Flow. And that is where we will be curating special topics and content, conversations that are aside from what we do on our regular show. It's to give that some space. And right now, our special topic, of course, is COVID-19. We've released our first episode of the current series, and it was about your health, your
Mm-hmm.
wealth, your
Mm-hmm.
well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked to a nurse practitioner out of Detroit, and we also talked to a mental health professional out of Chicago. We have resources listed. There are online virtual telemedicine-based resources available that are specific for Black women.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can use them, but there is a special focus on Black women.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts, sis, your experience with our new series?
I love current flow because one, we
Mm-hmm.
just we understand that because everybody now is virtual,
Mm-hmm.
your business and now a lot of your personal interactions. We're not trying to bog people down with so much information.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, the Pisces Life has always been a resource for good information
Yes.
and a lot of laughs while we're sharing that good information. But certain things I think require a little bit more attention, and
Mm-hmm.
it allows us to have some special guests because we're trying to raise the local stories up. These are real people in real communities in either Illinois and Michigan. And that gives it, I believe, some context
Mm-hmm.
and some validity, some perspective, and some relatability. I believe that
Yes.
hearing from real people versus like a celebrity or even like a real person who's an influencer, because sometimes those influencer statements are influenced. That's
Uh-huh.
why they're
Paid
called
influence.
influencers. And so we wanted to bring real people to you, our people, so that we can all be well informed
Mm-hmm.
and have good quality of life. So the stories certainly in this series are around COVID, but we're going to be looking at some different portions of those stories. So not just all of the health and sadness. That's a portion of it. But there's so much that's happening
Mm-hmm.
around COVID, and we want to try to bring those unique stories to your listening pleasure. So you have two opportunities to listen to the Pisces Life, our regular show, as well as the current flow.
Yes. Give it a tune, and everything, of course, to PiscesLife.com. On our SoundCloud, you can get all of our relaunch shows as well as all of the shows that we have ever done on here.
Absolutely.
And
So
we've done some good work over the years, girl.
yes, good work, and it's timeless. A lot of the information,
Yes.
a lot of the jokes are still relevant. So we encourage you to take a deeper dive, even with the Pisces Life. We have that available for you. And on that note, sis, I think we are going to swim on out of here.
Swim on out of here. Swim on out of here. I will not be appearing on Instagram Live doing versus nobody.
Come on, sis. We need to host us a
Ooh, idea. At the same time, heck yeah. Let's do us a virtual. Oh, okay.
yes,
Music.
offline. Yeah,
We
We
own it.
go. Yeah, we go.
Copyright.
Copyright. We gonna end this show. Thank
Yeah.
you for listening to another edition of the Pisces Life. I am so thrilled that some of y'all have made your way on back into these waters. And others, where you been? Where you going? You don't want to swim with us? It's fun. It's fun. You can't get in the water anyway. You own restriction. So come on over here and experience a virtual swimming pool of good information and good company. I am thankful for you. And on behalf of the Pisces Life, me and my sister, I am just Letitia. We thank you for continuously listening and for supporting us. Sis, where can they find you at?
Well, they can find me. I'm currently locked down, but I'm on the Twitter, I'm on the Facebook, I'm on the Instagram at I am just Letitia, Letitia. I don't know if it hurts people's pride to ask to follow you or whatever. It's just that I like to monitor. I just, it's just my look. Bear with me. But I want y'all to follow me though.
Follow her. Follow. Just request. She real friendly. Just make sure you
Yeah.
got a picture. That's
Yeah,
just
yes.
so we can identify you as a real person.
Ooh, girl, and remind me to talk about people's profile pictures while they requesting folks. That's another show. Where can they find you at, sis, if they looking for you?
They can find me on Facebook and the Twitter at Kai Loves You, KAILOVESU. And if you're looking for me on the Instagram, you can find me at Kai Loves You too. The number. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Peace out of here.
Peace.
The Pisces Life, the Pisces Life.